Warriors NRL Fanatics here, back today with a video, and I'm going to get into my player ratings for the round 14 game versus the Melbourne Storm. Now I'm going to go through the whole 1 to 13 and the bench and give my rating out of 10. So just to let you guys know, this is my first ever player ratings video. So I was planning to do this one live tonight, but I've decided to do this as a video instead. So this is just my opinion. So yeah, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comment section below your player ratings for the game against the Melbourne Storm. So let's get into it. So at fullback, it was Captain Roger Tuivasa-Sheck starting. And, you know, I thought Roger Tuivasa-Sheck had a pretty solid game. I didn't think he stood out the most. I don't think he was outstanding, but I don't think it was terrible at all. But, yeah, I'm going to give Roger Tuivasa-Sheck a rating out of 10. I'm going to give him a 7 here. I thought, you know, he made a few try-saving tackles, but, you know, I think he's kept relatively quiet from the Melbourne Storm. So I'm going to say a 7 out of 10 for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, the captain. Now, the wingers now, and the first winger is Edward Cozy. Now, I thought Edward Cozy got found out quite a bit in this game defensively. I think Melbourne really exposed Edward Cozy, and I thought it wasn't one of his greatest games, to be fair, to be honest. So I'm going to give Edward Cozy here a 5 out of 10. Now, I could rate him a bit lower, but I think I'll give him a 5. I mean, look, to be fair, he hasn't played too many games in the NRL, so, you know, I'll give him a 5 here for this one. The next winger I'm going to talk about and rate is Marcelo Montoya. Now, I thought Marcelo Montoya was a very quiet game from him, actually. I thought he had a very quiet game. Didn't really stand out to me, to be fair. I'm going to give Marcelo Montoya a 6 out of 10. I think a 6 out of 10. He wasn't terrible, but to me, he had a very quiet game. Now, the centre pairing of Ewan Aiken. I'm going to give Ewan Aiken a 7 out of 10. I thought it was his best performance, actually. I thought he played well. You might disagree with me on this one, but I thought he actually had a pretty solid game in a losing side, Ewan Aiken. So I reckon he deserves a 7 out of 10 for his effort and performance against the Melbourne Storm. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about is Ken Maumalo. Now, Ken Maumalo, great game in his last game for the Warriors against the Melbourne Storm. Now, originally going into this game, Ken Maumalo was not expected to play. He wasn't expected to play. Rocco Berry was set to play this game, but Rocco Berry got ruled out due to an injury. So Ken Maumalo got to play his final game in Warriors colours, and he was outstanding for me. He absolutely was outstanding in a losing side. So I'm going to give Ken Maumalo here an 8 out of 10 for our outstanding performance against the Melbourne Storm. I thought he was our standout player. So, yeah, Ken Maumalo for me, 8 out of 10. Now into the halves now, and I thought our halves were very disappointing. Now, to be honest, to be fair, CHT, you know, came off with an injury, so, you know, I'm not going to rate him too harshly because I thought, you know, the injury was very unlucky and it's very sad, but I hope he has a speedy recovery and I wish him all the best. But to get into my ratings on the halves, first rating is to Cody Nikorima. Look, I thought Cody Nikorima didn't really stand out, to be fair. I thought it was not a great game from him, so I'm going to give Cody Nikorima a 6 out of 10. I thought it wasn't his best performance. So, yeah, 6 out of 10 for me, Cody Nikorima. Now, Chanel Harris-Tavita, you know what? I'm going to give him a 7.3 out of 10. Look, at the start of the game, you know, he was okay at the start of the game, but in attack, you know, he could have fixed a few things in attack. His kicking game could have been a lot better. But defensively, that hit on Brandon Smith, that tackle, has put me to give him a higher rating than I would have given him, you know, if he didn't, you know, make that tackle, you know, on Brandon Smith. So, you know, due to the injury and coming off, you know, I'm not going to rate him any harsher. I'm going to give him a 7.3 out of 10 for Harris-Tavita. Now, into the forwards. Now, Leeson Armel. Now, I thought Leeson Armel was, yeah, I don't think he stood out in this game either, to be fair. you know, it's a hard one to do player ratings because, you know, it's when you're getting a flogging 40 points to what score 16, and it was hard to get a player and rate them a high rating in this one. But at least in ML, I thought wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for me. Now into the hooker's spot, and you know, this is very unfortunate because Wade Egan, you know, I thought he was pretty solid actually. I thought he was pretty solid. Maybe, you know, he made a terrible pass, you know that wasn't on, but I thought he was pretty solid. Look, a bit unfortunate with the injury, Wade Egan, at the end of the game, so wishing him speedy recovery, but I'm going to give Wade Egan here a 7 out of 10. You know, I thought he was pretty decent. Didn't stand out as the best hooker, but I thought he was alright, so I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Now, Ben Murdoch-Masila starting, and look, I thought Ben Murdoch-Masila was alright. I thought he had an alright game. So I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10 here. Now, look, personally for me, you know, there was a time when Ben Murdoch-Masila, he gave away a penalty during the game. It was a pretty bad penalty giveaway, but I thought he did alright. He wasn't on fire. He wasn't outstanding, but yeah, I'll give Ben Murdoch-Masila a 8 out of 10. Now moving on to Bailey Sirenen, and I didn't think Bailey Sirenen did much, to be fair. So I'm going to give Bailey Sirenen a 5 out of 10. I'm not going to comment too much on Bailey Sirenen, but yeah, I'll give him a 5 out of 10 there. Now moving on to Tohu Harris, the most consistent player for the Warriors last year, player of the year. Now I thought Tohu Harris was great. I thought he did a decent job. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think he stood out the most, but I thought he was pretty decent. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. Now on to Josh Curran, and Josh Curran, who's just recently announced that he's re-signed for another couple of years. And yeah, Josh Curran was starting in the lock positions in this game against the Melbourne Storm. So I'm going to give Josh Curran a rating out of 10, and I'm going to give him a 6.8. I thought he was solid, had a solid game. So yeah, I'll give him a 6.8 for his performance. Now onto the bench, and the first player on the bench is Jack Murchie, and I thought Jack Murchie, he wasn't great, to be fair. He wasn't great, didn't provide that impact. You know, didn't provide much impact off the bench, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Kane Evans, I thought, was pretty average, to be fair. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. You know, could have done a bit more. Bunty Afoa. Now, Bunty Afoa was pretty good. I didn't think he was terrible, but I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 here. I think not much impact there from Bunty, but he didn't play terribly at all. So, yeah, 6 out of 10 for me. And the last player coming off the bench and returning from injury was Adam Fanua-Blake. And yeah, I'll give Adam Fanua-Blake here a 7 out of 10, but you know, he'll be better for the run. I don't think he was outstanding, but I'll give him a 7 out of 10, you know, just for a bit of effort there. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me for Adam Fanua-Blake. So yeah, that's my player ratings for round 14 versus the Melbourne Storm. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Let me know your player ratings in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video as well. And I'll see you all in the next one.